Alrighty, so we have started yet another slight extended pullback. Now, big show today, guys. Big show, as we have important minutes coming up later. We have a lot of FUD happening in the world. Is it World War III? I think that's the question I want to ask you. Are we starting World War III? Because stock markets coming down pretty hard, especially the US futures coming down pretty hard, and basically also causing a little bit of extension within crypto. But what we've spoken about the many attempts at this important level. We know 25,200 is the critical level, and it's the level the bears are trying to hold. And yet again, we have gotten our fifth rejection from that area. And now what we are doing is we're in the bottom range. Now, I gave you guys a wedge yesterday. I said there's a wedge. There's an area of where we break out of resistance, and there's support we don't want to lose. But what I do want to remind you of is we are getting redness. And I think the big question now is this rally, is the top in, and are we starting a downwards rally? Is the bull cycle or the bull leg that we've created in 2023, are we finished with that now? And when I showed you this wedge, we could see very much, it is a 1 hour chart. I want to remind you, it's a 1 hour chart. We have lost short-term momentum. And where we're sitting with Bitcoin right now is we are sitting on a retest level where now 24,200 becomes the resistance. So what I'm going to do in this show is, yes, you see all of this, right? But it is now time to jump to the slightly higher time frames, to the 4 hour, to the 12 hour, and to see where are all those trends? Where are we sitting? Because we've been at Bitcoin. I want to remind you, yes, we've touched the top 5 times and we've been rejected, but we've touched the bottom 5 times and we've bounced. So is this another huge opportunity to add within the alts? I see we've had some alts pull back 10, 12%, some of them slightly more. And is this an area of back to support to get those dip opportunities? I had the question 2-3 days ago. Can we get a dip already so I can buy? The dip's here. How are you feeling about it? Are you nervous? Does it get quite crazy? I'm here to help you with all of that. No more wasting time, James. Let's get into it.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, hope you're having a great day. Say yo in the comments. I want to see you guys are here. How are you feeling? Are you surviving? I think the leverage guys are sweating, if not slightly hurt. I know leverage at these times when we have a 10% pullback in the market can be quite devastating if you never got the perfect entries or you never put stop losses. Are we surviving? Pop in the comments. Say yo, I'm okay. Yo, I'm not okay. Pop in the comments. I want to see what's happening. Remember, guys, I'm here for you guys every day. I want to know how you're feeling. I want to know how this market's treating you. What mistakes are you making? What's working for you? Like, this is a long journey. This year is going to be ranging, and you got to get used to the 30 to 50% pumps. You got to get used to the 10, 15, 20% dumps. Think about Bitcoin over the last few days. Every time it has come down to the mid 23,000s, have been brilliant buys. And anytime that Bitcoin came to that area and the altcoins were on support, they were brilliant buys. And I think we got to remember now that this is still the strategy. The strategy is to still get things as cheap as possible. We're always looking at the best levels. Sometimes they get slightly more cheap, yes, but ultimately you want to know one thing. High time frame, are we still bullish? Are we still bullish high time frame, so that I know that I should be buying these dips? And that's what's important. We've been zooming in a lot over the last few days, looking for those really strong entries. Now it is time to also go slightly higher and just say, okay, well, while we are looking for these entries and we're adding to our portfolio, are we still safe? That's the big question. If you're brand new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, join our Discord. Rolex challenge. Everything is below in the description, guys. I don't want to take too much time on that. Let's jump in. So jumping in, the first charts that I want to show you guys is the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗏 chart. Let's jump straight into altcoins before I jump into Bitcoin, because think about it. We want to look at this, and I know a lot of people are looking at this and going, well, okay, this is the hour. So market obviously slight bouncing, but this is the day. You know, this is the last 24 hours that we've had in crypto. And it's been quite crazy. You know, we've had Phantom come, you know, nearly 9% down. We've had many of the tokens. I see 𝗕𝗬𝗃, we got yesterday's looking pretty strong. So that's really good. MATIC, quite a big pullback. Near, smallish pullback. There's not crazy huge pullbacks happening just yet. It may look like it, but that is the 1 hour charts that does look like big pullbacks, but nothing just yet. Does not mean that a very big pullback cannot be coming. So it is something we need to be aware of. But let's actually just zoom out for a second and let's actually have a look. Let's see where we're at. And I got the 𝗕𝗬𝗃 chart here. So if we look at 𝗕𝗬𝗃, firstly, we did break a while ago, and end of the day, when you look at crypto, it always takes its really long time to get through a critical level. And once it's through a critical level, it actually starts to free flow, right? Now, I've been speaking to a lot of guys around the office and a lot of people. And when it came to that, it was like a lot of people still are not in the market. You know, they're asking me like, should I buy now? Should I not? And I remember even last week when the market was ripping, you know, people still weren't fully in the market. So for me, it's still at that point where I don't think retail is 100% in the market. I think people missed the pump. I think they're still scared of what happened last year, and they're still not invested. So psychology-wise, you know, it is interesting to see that I still don't think that it is time for max pain-wise, because I feel like all the money, people are fearful, but they're not in. You know, when I could see that everyone, tell me, are you all in the comments? I want to select you guys here. People are fearful, agreed. Are you all in? Are you all in, or do you still have money? Do you still have money? Like, tell me. I want to know. Before I jump straight into the charts, tell me. No, not all in. No, not all in. Not all in. Not all in. Okay. No. Cash on the side. There's 1 or 2 yeses. No dry powder. Okay, not all in. Amazing. You see, people still are not all in the market. And for me, it's like, you know, if these guys are forming one of the biggest bull traps, and think about it, you know, this isn't the run to Bitcoin all-time high just yet, but this is a relief rally. This is something that tries to get people to change their minds. And you can see a lot of people are not all in. It's crazy. It's still cash. Okay, there's some that don't have money, no money. Okay, amazing. I'm all out. So you see that. It's very important to see that, guys. So for me, it's still at that point where that retail is not just in yet. And for me, what's the point of this pump if they're not getting full retail in? Not to say you guys are snipers now. You know, you're part of the family. You no longer fall under that category. But it's the truth of it. People still have money. And I think with everything going on in the world right now, that's what's creating the fearfulness. And end of the day, it's what the market does. It gets you in late. You know, it gets you in at later levels. And that's why I still think that 25K break and things like that is when the real money enters, where money, I feel like there's a lot of money sitting on the side. So let's now print that on the chart and let's have a look here. Firstly, the altcoins started moving. And right now on the daily, we still have higher high, still higher low, and we still well intact when it comes to our danger line. That, you know, this whole momentum cruise that we've had from the altcoins to the upside, we are still well above that. We haven't broken the big one, you know, the one that starts the really big correction that could maybe even take us to new lows. When it comes to the market cycle, there's still that thing in our ears that are saying depression could still come within this year. And that could be recession as well. Recession could create depression. It can create a very slow dripping, dying market that just doesn't give gains for a long period of time. And that would be the pure shakeout. But we're not there just yet. We're not there where we have lost a major steam or anything like that. And what we've got to remember is when it comes to the altcoins now, is they did hit an important level. But this is always going to be the level where it is going to fight resistance. And once it's through a level of resistance, that's when the easy flow comes. So you always want to work your ass off, even though it may be tough and it may be annoying because maybe you stopped out a few times, or you're buying slightly late or things like that. But you always want to accumulate in the hard period, the period where we're approaching resistance, approaching a level that's tough. Because once you get through that level, you then hit the gaps. And I've explained the gaps to you guys where price just extends. So where we're sitting with with the altcoins right now is we're still in the support trend. So that's a good sign. That's something that smaller time frame, yes, we are having a pullback, but high time frame, we haven't broken the major structures just yet. So keep this line in here. That's when we really panic. We really panic when this is down. Now, if you have a look at the second view of this, what has always been the greatest part of this support trend line was every time it touched, it actually ended up always being incredible places to dollar cost and to build the positions, and especially build the positions on what you missed. If there was tokens doing crazy 300, 400%, they were impossible to buy last week. But now they're getting to support levels. They're getting to levels where they're 40% from the highs. And ones that were definitely not an option of buying, at those times are now coming to areas where they could be possibly buying. And when it comes to that, it all comes down to risk to reward. Risk to reward in crypto is your key, and it's going to be your tool that's going to take you all the way to the top. And why we love supports, and whenever we come to support, is because your risk is low. Because we break support, it's time to get out. It's time to protect yourself. So now we are coming down to these areas, and maybe I still think Bitcoin's in strong range. I'll talk about Bitcoin now, but ultimately this pullback is still showing we're still healthy. We're not on that crazy period just yet. May this change in a week or two? We shall see. But ultimately for me, there's money on the side, and I still think there's more max pain to come. And in order to have max pain, you have to have retail enter the market. You need more FOMO. We need more greed. We need more continuation. So for me, it's like this. This is another little pullback that we're having right now. And there is resistance to this area of the 400 billion on the total 3. But once we're above that, I'm still expecting that move. And like I said, if Bitcoin doesn't break 25, right, I'm still expecting a 12 to 20% in altcoins. I'm still expecting an altcoin push. But if Bitcoin does go to 28, that's when we start getting to the higher levels. Now, I want to print this for you as well. Altcoins are here right now, okay? Bitcoin's here. That's the crazy part. Bitcoin's at the higher, way higher levels than where, because this wick over here, I'll show you this on the Bitcoin chart, that currently resistance we're fighting with Bitcoin. It's in this area over here. So Bitcoin's sitting up there. Altcoins are very far behind with that. And for me, there's still that altcoin. Altcoins is DGens, guys. It's what brings all the money, brings everything into play. So interesting chart. Then we look at the next. Let me quickly jump through these. Total 2 as well. Total 2, we're at resistance. We're not below the danger zone. We're not below area of really big pullback. And we're very near a gap. If you look at this percentage-wise, you're looking at a 3%. And then you have a huge gap in total 2. And that's including Ethereum. So, showing that Ethereum as well strength. Now, the next important chart that I want to show you guys. And this is why that this pullback can be a small one. What is small? Small is when you have 70% gains and a 10% pullback. That's a small pullback, right? And if you have a look here, we are at a crucial level. Definitely, we know that now. But when it comes to USDT dominance chart, this was that long trend. And as long as this is going down, this was the reason we had a lot of fun. And ultimately, it is going sideways now, right? Very similar to what the Bitcoin chart's doing. But what I did see was we did lose trend. We definitely lost trend. We had an area where we lost previously, but we held it on closing candles. We shot up, and now we lost. And now we're coming up for the small retest here. And what's incredible about this is where the next support is 25% down within USDT dominance. So it is still showing us again that this possible next, this big leg that we've been talking about, it is still there. People asking the question, is it no longer there? Are we done? Are we done? No, it is still there. Now, obviously, we want to stay below this, and we want rejection now within the next 2 days. I would say we have 2 to 3 days to build these positions, to protect ourselves, and it will give us that very clear direction. But ultimately, this is good. And where it's showing here is the next support is still 25% down. I want to still motivate you in the times where you feel shitty, where you feel like, whoa, things are time, because the market is going to do that to you. And I want to make sure you're still staying level-headed. And this is why we love charts, why we love TA, because when a line's broken, this is what you do. Very simple, but this is nice to see. Now, what is the party poopers right now? It's basically having that drunk guy at the party, but he's too drunk and he's just making shit the whole time and he wants to fight everyone. That's the stock market. That's the US30 right now. So what happened yesterday was, again, Bitcoin attempted the 25K, and in the same time, we had the US30 reversal. And what we're looking at now is it has, on the shorter time frame, on this wedge over here, stock market's lost support on this wedge, right? And it is showing now weakness. It's definitely showing weakness, and this is all the shit that's going on in the world right now. But ultimately, what we do have is another horizontal support. So flags are great, but these horizontals are also really strong. And it's another 2% down from here. Now, maybe we have minutes later. If that goes well, we can break back in here. That would be amazing. But as it stands here, I'm still just seeing, if I go horizontally, the stock market just trail in this sort of way right now. But the moment we do have this, as long as Bitcoin holds 23, and I'll go through Bitcoin chart now, as long as, and we have at any point a little push up here, I know crypto is still strong as hell, and we're still going to have that strong momentum push. No, Run's not here. Run's not here. You guys fought. You said you didn't want Run on my show. So now I kicked Run out. I fired him. He's no longer here anymore. Unless you guys want him back, you tell me. You tell me in the comments if you want. So stock market there. And obviously the last hope chart, a very important one, is we have the Dixie not exploding yet, but still just hugging this damn trend line. Very important, very important, very important chart actually when it comes to everything else. We're still hugging. So this is why, guys, not only is it so big for Bitcoin, 25K, on the high time frames, it's also so big for the Dixie right now. It's done so much momentum, and it's also at a very point. So don't be surprised that the market is a little bit choppy right now, and it is a little bit tough because, we are in an incredibly strong point. But again, Dixie rejects here, stock market bounce or thing like that, we're still looking at a really big push to the downside, and we can't cancel that out. If in a day or two we're above here, we start looking, okay, amazing, we have the momentum lines, and we start slightly adjusting the strategy. But I don't want you to shift the strategy until proven wrong. Until, not even proven wrong, but until we'll still catch it early, is what I'm trying to say. So Dixie, still not in the crazy zones. Now, let's jump into Bitcoin. Let's jump into Bitcoin. So what I explained to you guys was the 1 hour chart yesterday, right? Because it was time to zoom in. Because we're at a critical level, it's okay to zoom in, and it's okay to look at things on the shorter time frame and see what the hell is happening. What's going on out here. So the first thing that we saw was obviously multiple attempts at 25K. Okay. Secondly, what we saw this morning is we started to lose short-term support. Now, this is on the 1 hour, shorter time frame. Okay. But we are starting to lose a little bit of steam when it comes to that. Now, secondly, what I did after that is I then tracked this little move to the downside here. Okay. Now we have the first option. The first option is we actually have a double bottom where these two areas bounce in this area, which is basically the 23,800. And from here, we now attempt a high. Now, I want to explain to you guys again. Bitcoin is currently 5-0. You're basically watching. Sorry, can you close that door, please, brother? Thank you, bro. Basically, you're watching a boxing match. Okay. And right now, Bitcoin is 5 rounds down at the moment. Okay. Now, boxing's amazing because you need that one punch. You need that one punch, and you may lose a couple of rounds, but that one punch can obviously win you the match. And for me, I was tracking this down now this morning, and that's why we're getting a little bit of a market short little bounce. But what it is fighting this resistance over here. Definitely. 24,200 is resistance now on the shorter time frame. But what I am expecting is either we do hold this level, or we even do go down more. We go down more even to the 23,400. Okay. But after that, I am looking at the level where it's going to attempt that high again one more time. Now, I spoke about Wyckoff yesterday, and I spoke about that these are two options. Either they're eating this wall away, slowly nibbling past the wall so we can get through it, or they're offloading. Because why are we getting there and we're getting these huge drops? Are they selling their bags? Is it big guys offloading for something that they know that we don't? And it's something we got to be very much aware of. But ultimately, the next high is very important for us to get through on that level. Now, I still think this push over here, when it comes, I still think it's an altcoin push. Because when it comes to dominance, again, dominance is not raging hugely in Bitcoin's favor right now. It's not making crazy momentum pushes or anything like that. And we're still waiting for that next leg down to the next support. So for me, there's still that strength within altcoins. And this next push up, I think we're going to have a hard altcoin bounce again. Where support will be, I'll go through that now. But ultimately, we will soon see that does Bitcoin break that high. And if not, I'm still expecting a 20-30% within altcoins. If we break it, obviously a lot more dominance goes up, these sort of things. But now let's jump slightly higher. Let's go a little bit higher time frame now, because I want you guys to breathe as well. And I want you to remember where we are in the cycle. So support trend on Bitcoin. Have we broken? Say yes or no in the comments. Have we broken support? Have we broken the main trend? No, we haven't. Okay. Are we far from it? Yes. And that's why at any point, it's like a magnet. It will suck it through to support. And support will always be the areas of where you're interested to add to your bags. But if you look over here, you could see very much on the left right now, we're still holding all of the support over here. And it's showing that the level between 20,000, 23,600, 23,800 is a huge support area over here horizontally. And then there's another one. And the other one is 23,000. And if that did have to happen, it's us coming and testing the support, the trend over here. Now, what you can expect is on the 4-hour RSI is at the bottom, but the 12-hour is still making its way down. Okay. So what I'm basically trying to say here is either we do hover slightly sideways now for the next day or two, let's see what happens later when it comes to that, but expect another day or two of sort of hovering the zone. There's two levels that we can get to. Either we hold the current level we're at now or slightly lower to around the 23K. And then we're going to have the bull's response. We're going to have the bull's response from this current wave to the downside. And where that gets, it is so important that Bitcoin gets in around. It needs a round. It needs to hit them with the right hook there and get some strength on the next push up. Then we will start to see, is it de-risk time, anything like that. But when it comes to this, still looking good. Now, let's jump over here and let's go to the daily. Same thing with the daily. Now, again, the most important level. We're here, guys. We're here. And remember that wick that I showed you. This is where I showed you that altcoins are here. They're at these lower areas. Bitcoin's here. It's at those higher zones. And for me, that's still where I'm seeing, altcoins catch up and all these sort of things. But look at the daily, guys. Firstly, what we did previously was we did break through very much clearly the higher high, and we retested as a RS flip. Something that was resistance now becomes support. And you can still see that this trend over here is saying that Bitcoin holds 23K. We are still in this momentum. Okay, that's all that you want to know on the daily. Are we still in that strong momentum that we've been in over the last few days and last few weeks? And as long as we hold this trend line, yes, we are. The moment we start losing this trend line, it's very similar to this area over here. The moment we start to lose it is when something else happens. And right now, as it speaks, you can see it's very much, I even moved the line. I didn't even change it. It's the same, momentum and things like that. Now, this is the important level. Of course it is. We know what it is when it comes to those, the MAs and the resistance. But what we're also aware of is the gap. We know that this is the hard fight over here. After here, there's a nice little relief push over here. I still think there's many traps to come later on there. But for now, we are still bullish within that. Now, let's jump into some of the altcoins. And let's have a quick look to see where everything's at. I just want you guys to have your momentum lines in play, your support lines, because support is for buying. Support is for the areas. Now, we've been zoomed in and we're waiting for these big pushes. And I'm going to speak about Solana, AVAX, all of these things. But what you can see is everything, including ETH, it is fighting resistance. Yes, definitely. But it is holding support. And don't be surprised if there is a continuation of a pullback, that it does come to test these supports. It's good for us to test supports because why? Because you can buy and you can have tight stop losses. Risk to reward is incredible. If we get it, we're not always lucky to get those support buys, but it's still showing. As long as Ethereum holds 1,550, 1,560, we're still in a good trend. We're still healthy. And remember, after that, for me, I still see 2K. I still see 2K. I still see the higher levels in ETH. If you never had ETH in your bags, you know, finally stop ignoring the red, guys. Stop getting, you know, what do you call it? Unmotivated, if I'm saying it correctly. Let's look at Cardano. Okay, going slightly lower than what thing, but when it comes to this, it broke the long-term trend, support trend, guys. We're still here, and it's even near. So it's showing 37.38. It is in support, and your risk to reward ratio is low. And I'm still looking at these higher targets. I'm not even looking at the 28K targets just yet. I'm still looking at the 25 on the next push. I still see altcoins rallying to the upside. So yes, they're getting a little bit more blood now, but we know Bitcoin bounces down, makes its way to 25. We know how the altcoins wake up, you know, really big. But I just I want you to keep that mindset strong, because a lot of people are like, oh, this dip. Is that a dip? Is that a dip just yet? No. We break this line, then you see a real dip. You know, then you see real sort of things. And I'm here to protect you guys with that. Right now, these are small dips, and they could be huge opportunity dips. And it's great because your risk to reward ratio is great. Now, I know a lot of you are still in the market, and you have a lot of tokens in the market. Put all these momentum lines now in, and when they start, if they start to lose those trends, start de-risking from that token. And now the big question comes in, though. I don't think you go that much into USDT. This is still something that I have. If I'm getting out of the market, I'm probably getting into Bitcoin or Ethereum, to be honest. I don't think I want to exit this market just because how strong it's been at any point of bounces. It gets really hard to get back in the markets. That's why you got to love, you know, the Bitcoin and that pairing and things like that. AVAX, amazing right now. These are still the major targets. I'm still seeing 50 to 70% in AVAX. We're coming down anywhere near support lines. It's still showing 19, 20, these areas, sort of things like that. We're still in support with AVAX, and I still see a L1 push. This is not a big pullback at all just yet. And we're still here. So any support buys, amazing. I'm here to calm you guys down. Phantom, it did start to lose a little bit of momentum, Phantom. It did, and it was quite annoying. So I got a small stoppage on that on short time frame trades. But ultimately, when it comes to the support trend, it's holding, and it does officially have to, you know what I'm sort of seeing with a lot of the market right now is a lot of them made higher highs, and then they tried again 2-3 days ago, and they got lower highs. And ultimately, what you want to see is lower high, higher low, breakouts. That's what you want to see on bullish flags, things like that. So for now, we are still holding the levels of, you know, for me, anywhere that we're still above 44 cents is still healthy within Phantom, and only but great, you know, dollar costing entries. And obviously after this, we want to see this higher low, and we want to see the break of this resistance. And then, you know, we're looking at the next higher fuel. Think about it, guys. Any token needs to go up. It needs to go here. Why does it need to do this? So it can reset the RSIs. You know, the RSI is at the bottom doing this, right? So this is why it needs to do, because when it had original pump, the RSIs are high. Everything's overbought, things like that. So it needs to calm the price down a little bit so you can get the RSI back down. And then all of a sudden, you have a market where this is all of a sudden going sideways, and your RSIs get reset in that time. Now your bulls have strength again to push again. Think about it. It's like running a marathon, right? Every time you run, you got to quickly stop, have a breather, have a sip of water, okay, and then keep going. It's the same thing. They have to get fuel again, get power in again, and these sort of things in order to send it again. So they've always said it. The longer, whatever sideways you go, creates a result, right? And that's why we need bear markets. That's why we need a market that goes sideways for a very long period of time, because that gives them time to fuel up and to get it where it needs to be next. So Phantom, again, I only but see more opportunity than what I saw yesterday. And I'm still seeing the higher levels until this line over here starts to get lost. Then I get, okay, well, start to slightly de-risk. And the only time I'm de-risking in this market is if I can get way more tokens. It needs to be a huge pullback in order for me to get out. Like that's the way you should be thinking about this, is more opportunity. Let's speak about Solana. Okay, so Solana had that major breakout, important. We also know it's slightly double top, important level, yes. But I want to remind you again, I spoke about two buy areas yesterday. I spoke about the 24 to 25, and I spoke about the second one, 22 to 23. Okay, now Solana has still hit, it's in support right now. It is still holding support trend. This was not something to ignore. So for me, it is still the area of Solana, and it's still my protection zone below $21 is still my protection. I still see Solana going to $40. I still think that this is strong. I know Run's in it big as well, and many of the guys, I'm in it big personally as well. But Solana for me still only but better right now. Same with Algo. Algo's taking its time. You know, we're waiting for Algo. Definitely waiting, and it's hugging that 200-day, but same thing. Slightly lower high. Amazing. We're looking for higher low now, and I'm still looking. Look at this gap. Still huge, still huge, still huge. 25, 26, Algo. You know, a lot of them that I've spoken to you guys about. Dot. Did you miss the dot pump? Amazing. Does that look like a big correction, guys, after what it's just done? Does it? Does it? You know what I mean? All I see is a retest in these zones again. So there's the momentum line. Only when we're below that line is when we panic. For now, we do have support between 6.6 and 6.9. And for me, dot, strong. Hit this resistance. After that, you still have a $9 to $10 dot. So again, you couldn't buy dots 2-3 days ago, and now you're at the point where you can dip your toes into dots. Amazing. MATIC slowing down, right? Quite a nice. There's a little bit of FUD on MATIC. Here's the MATIC chart. Amazing. So you look at this now, we're still in support, and you couldn't buy it a few days back at 1.55, but now you're sitting at 1.25 to 1.35, and now we're on support again. And, you know, protections here, amazing. But for me, MATIC just stopped in a sort of odd position. It did have a little bit of this resistance over here, but ultimately it broke that, getting a higher high, and there's still higher targets for me on the next push, as long as Bitcoin obviously stays healthy. But, you know, still for me, a $2 MATIC still makes sense. So MATIC is now coming to the page where yesterday I was saying don't buy MATIC. Now I'm saying, okay, we're getting to the areas of where we can start getting MATIC. Same with THETA and all these tokens, guys. Have a look. See them all. Hit resistance, still in support. So THETA, 1.1, 1.2. Amazing, amazing. All of them. So guys, what I want you to do with many of your tokens, VET. So if you see a token like this, don't buy. Don't buy, because we already got our VET buys, right? Only if it's near here. It's near here, then you can buy. Now it's no buy. So anything that's very far from momentum lines, not worth it just yet. Not worth it at all at the moment. 𝗧𝗍, still strong, still amazing. So I'm still very happy with what we've been getting, guys, and what we've been building. Link, you couldn't buy 2-3 days back. Now you can dip your toes, and there's maybe even a little bit cheaper, another 3-4% more Link. Amazing. Near protocol, this for me is a buy. It's a lower high. Still here. I'm still looking at a 3.5 near. And many of the tokens, THORChain, still higher low right now. This one's nice. You have time for a trend break as well. But there's resistance, there's support here at 1.6, between the 1.6 and 1.64, maybe even slightly low, 1.5, 1.6. Amazing. But we are still well in healthy territory. DYDX started to make its way a little bit more down. Is still in momentum line. Just keep an eye on it if it does lose that at any point. But as far as it goes, higher low over here. Dip your toes. Amazing. Stop loss under this low. Fantastic. And I'm still looking at 4.5. So guys, many of them. Let's look at the graph. Think about the graph. There was the short term. That was my short-term stoppage yesterday. Yes, annoying. You can't tell me, guys. Stop losses at these times, they piss you off. You don't want them, but you do have to have them. You do have to have them. Very important. So GRT, I still think is going to be a big mover. I would take it on the break of this trend though, because we do have support here. Amazing, but I'd rather wait for the break of trend and to catch them. So guys, moral of the story: you're panicking over 1 hour charts right now. Have the important lines. These support buys are always great buys. You know, they're always opportunity because your risk to reward is very low. We're still in bullish momentum. We're still in bullish line. And we mustn't lose focus of that. Until it's proven different or something has broken, then we shift it. So I want you guys to look at opportunities again and change that mindset. I saw panic again today. I'm like, whoa, like what are we panicking for? I just showed you the high time frame charts. So let's see how the minutes go later. Let's see what happens with Bitcoin. And every day, let's just keep nailing it. Let's get the entries. You're going to love it again. The market's up again by the end of the week by another 50%. You're all going to have fun again. But when was the best time to do that? On these red days. So stay motivated, stay happy. If you took multiple losing trades, take a small break. There's a bit of time. There's a day or two of breather, and then we start again. Have a fantastic day. Much love to you all. Join Sniper School. Open links below. Deposit $100 into them. Register. Put your user ID and come join me. We start next week. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love.